Alrighty guys, welcome back. We are starting chapter 2 of Higurashi. Man, I do not know what I'm getting into here. My mic is weird. There we go. Man, I don't know where we're gonna go from here. I really have no idea, because everyone kind of died at the end of the last one. But I don't know... I don't know what we're gonna be doing. So, man, I guess we'll see. I got my notes, as always. I guess we're ready to go. I hope the settings are all good, since it's a different game, you know. Had to fix my settings up again. I'll adjust the volume and stuff if I have to. What is this? What is the background here? See all this stuff? Can I hide this? No, I can't. Watanagashi. The Most Possibilities. Cotton Drifting Chapter. How was your taste of life in Hinamizawa? A curse or a conspiracy? I believe you have fully enjoyed everything, and everyone seeming suspicious. Uh-huh. Here at last. It is no surprise attack, but a real, direct incident. Please enjoy it. The difficulty is lower than Onikashi, but extremely vicious. Great. Fantastic. Sounds good to me. What is the background here? It looks like torture. A torture chamber. Like, what am I looking at, man? Okay, let's get going. Oh, that laugh. I forgot about that at the beginning of the last one. I will not quench your thirst, for you seek the truth and cannot accept that. I will not quench your thirst, for the truth you desire does not exist, but I still want to quench your thirst, for I am the one who cast you into the desert. Frederica Burn something. Burncastle? Are we gonna get a cold open again? 1983. Not a cold open. In media res, I guess that's what you'd call it. The chirping of birds served as my alarm clock. We're just back? Huh? Wasn't today Sunday? I guess we're just back with Keiichi, right? I mean, this is his room. Wasn't it basically my style to stay up late on Saturday and sleep through the morning on Sunday? Why was I waking up at this disgustingly wholesome hour? Back to sleep, back to sleep. Oh. For some reason that, the phone. That is a little bit loud. Still a little bit loud. I was gonna have to adjust it, but a little bit more. Okay, hopefully that's fine. Phone call. And what I was trying to say is, for some reason the phone, like, freaks me out. The sound of it in this game, I don't know why. At that moment, the sound of my mother calling me from downstairs finally registered. Phone call? I sprang up out of bed abruptly and stampeded noisily down the stairs. So, like, I wonder where we are. What are we doing here, you know? Keiichi's alive again, right? I'm assuming we're, like, at some point in the timeline or something. But, like, when? Where? What's happening? What's, you know? He's awake. I'll put him on right now, my mother informed the person on the other end of the line. Rena! Hi! What's up? So that's what Keiichi was talking about, or did he actually go back to sleep? I don't know. Did he actually go back to sleep, I wonder? I don't know. It was 11 o'clock. I guess you could loosely consider that the middle of the day. Yeah, loosely. Sure. I like how they like... Yeah, that's great. It is good to have them together again. Ooh, we've got everybody. Everybody? Did she mean all of the club members? I was naive to think, Keiichi. Oh, yeah, literally. I swear to God, people are gonna think I've, like, read this before. Like...
あらゆる環境に対応して最善手を模索するのが我が部の趣旨だもんな。つまり休日だろうとお構いなしってわけだ。おお、ケイちゃんも我が部のことが分かってきたね。でさ、これさ。
I had absolutely nothing planned that day. If I were to refuse Club President Mion's invitation, what other fun ways to pass the time would I have?
別に予定なんかねえし、嫌だって言ったら不先輩扱いでどんな罰ゲームを課せられるや。
True.
そこまで分かってるなら断れないよね。もし OK ならいつもの待ち合わせ場所に1に集合。
The usual place.
町駅から自転車で来てね。
Going into town, huh? I haven't seen much of town. Club activities in town? Well, we could do them anywhere. Besides, since it was a new venue, there was no way that this wasn't going to be intense. Could this give us some idea of where we are in the timeline, maybe? Whatever the narrow loss was? A couple of days ago was Friday's club activities. That uncompromising poker match. Okay, that didn't happen in Higurashi, so never mind. It was a fight to the death. Nobody held back. Nobody could tell who was in the lead or who was last until all the points were tallied. In the end, I won by only one chip. Mion came in second. Damn it. To think, if I hadn't squandered that one chip. Mion lamented thus, perhaps more so than the fact that she had lost the match. Mion doesn't lose. That's why Mion only whined when she let the champion's throne slip through her fingers. That's why she was more frustrated than anybody over a close loss. So, did she mean for today to be a grudge match? Like, I don't know why I can't read. I gotta, like, lock in here, please. I wonder what she had to do. After that, we exchanged jeers for a bit before hanging up the phone. As I headed back upstairs hastily to get the key to my bike, I bumped into my mother as she was carrying a futon down. You know, the whole... Reminds me of Watanagashi, right? Because that's what they did on Watanagashi was rip up the futons. So, I wonder... I assume we're before Watanagashi on the timeline, right? It'd be kind of crazy if we aren't. So, her bringing that into the futon just reminded me of that. After unlocking the chain from my bike in the garage, I reveled a bit in the resistance the slightly stiff pedal gave as I pushed on it. Alright, let's go. I set off on my bike, cutting through the refreshing morning air. Sorry. Oh, we've not heard this music in so long, have we? Ah. Oh, we have not... Man, we haven't seen Sadako and Rika in what feels like forever either. Ah... It's gonna lull me just back into a false sense of security so quickly. Like, I just already know. Like... But it just makes me so happy, you know, them just being normal. Oh, I see. If I remember correctly, Sadako and Rika-chan's houses were on the other side past the school. Yeah, that's probably it. I hope that's a joke. What? I spun around with a serious look on my face and looked at Mion. Well, it certainly seemed possible that Mion was capable of doing that. Rena normally doesn't do that. Wow, that was a good one.
みーちゃんごめんね。みーちゃんごめんね。
The two of them joked around. That bright laughter was the best match for a beautiful day like today.
おい二人ともサトコとリカちゃんが先に待ってるんだろ。じゃれてないで早く行こうぜ。
Around and around, fooling about like two fluttering butterflies. I earnestly wished I could just keep watching them like this. But the five of us together would be absolutely more fun.
そうだね。じゃあ行こうか。
目標は10億強奪。山分けしたらみんなで高飛びだぜ。
Sounds great. Sounds like a plan. The three of us on our bikes headed over the gently sloping hill towards town. Accelerating hard, we crested the hill. I think this is a new site. I think we've been here before. The view expanded as Okinomiya Station came into sight. I occasionally can't come to the station here. Considering the amount of effort it takes to get here, though, it was quite the hassle. That's why I didn't know much about the area around the station, or Okinomiya itself for that matter. Like, something needs to happen with me and my reading abilities, I don't know. The street we're headed down today was of course unfamiliar to me as well. Going through the railway crossing, we headed past the south end of the station. So like something I'm immediately just thinking about is like, he came here before with Rishi-san. So yeah, I mean, and he's not like mentioning that, obviously. So again, I'm assuming this is some kind of like weird, I don't know, alternate timeline type thing. I don't know, I guess I should just kind of disregard everything that happened in Onikashi in terms of like the timeline, obviously, not like information from it, but I mean like, I don't know, it's weird.
こっち側は来るの初めてだな。
こっちにはね、ゲームセンターとかおもちゃ屋さんとかがいろいろあるの。
Is that where we're headed?
ゲーセンもあるのか。俺、前は結構通ってたからな。ゲーマーの血がうずくぜ。
ゲーセン通いなんて、ケイちゃん不良だね。今度来た時に案内してあげるよ。結構台数を揃えたいい店があるから。
It seemed like the town of Okinomiya was Mion's stomping grounds. If I asked her, she could tell me a lot of things about it. Eventually, we came across a store with quite a few bikes parked in front of it. This looks very cool. Was this the arcade? No, it was a smaller shop. Looking at the window display, it seemed like your everyday toy shop. Very nice. But, for almost 10 kids to be filing in and out of the store, they were doing almost too well for
ひょ
themselves.
っとしてあの店で今日何かイベントでもあるのか。
I'm sure that's why we're here, yeah.
その通り。優勝賞金は5万円。
Ooh, that's almost, what, 0.05% of the 1 billion that you're supposed to be getting?
5万円なんだよそれ。ケイイチ王国の5年分の GNP に匹敵するぞ。
That's great. The two cute figures messing around the front of the store noticed us, then waved their hands. Sadako and Rika, let's go!
皆様方、
Wow, we haven't seen them in so long, it feels like. Man.
お待ちしてましたよ。おはようございますなのです。
おはようリカちゃん。サトコ、警察が来る前にケリをつけるぞ。目標は10億強奪だ。
ケイイチさんの話がわかりませんわ。遅くなったかな。リカちゃんたちは今来たの？今日は早く終わったのでだいぶ待ってましたですよ。
Finished early with what?
そりゃ悪いことした。こっちがケイちゃんがなかなか来なくてさ。
True, he was sleeping.
ケイイチでは仕方ありませんですよ。
What does that mean? Saying that, Rika-chan stretched up and began patting Mion's head. Hey, wait a minute. Are you solving everything by making me the bad guy?
もちろん、ケイイチさんでなくては務まらない大役でしたよ。
We haven't heard that laugh in so long. Man, it's great.
実に嫌な大役だな。こんなので丸く収まると思ったら大間違いだぞ。
I was feeling slightly irritated, so I began to repeatedly smack Sadako on the head. Great. Fantastic. Give me her crying, please. Thank you. Thank you. Perfect. Fantastic.
ケイイチにいじめられてかわいそうかわいそうですよ。さとこちゃん泣いてる泣いてる。
Man, we are getting all the hits returning.
お持ち帰り。悪い人はレナお姉ちゃんがやっつけてあげるからね。
Oh god, don't. Please don't take care of him. Wham. Rena ecstatically wiped the tears, which were probably fake, from Sadako's face, while Rika-chan gently patted mine as I lay sprawled on the ground. Yes, this is fine.
やっぱりこれが正しい丸い収め方だよな。
Are they? You getting murdered? I hope not. That didn't really,
前歯が欠ける
solve it
前に
last time.
新しいオチを探した方がいいと思うけどね。
Yeah, really, I hope... Yeah, I think we should find a new punchline other than you getting killed to solve it this time. I don't know. I guess we'll see. Well then, upsy daisy. In any case, the greeting for today went well. Inside the toy shop, there were about 10 boys around the same age as me. Apparently, they all knew Mion, and finding out that she had arrived, they greeted her with jeers a few at a time. He has competition.
みーちゃんはこのおもちゃ屋さんの常連なの。
Ooh.
だから友達もすっごく多いの。
Man, this must have taken so long to draw. Very impressive, very detailed.
おもちゃ屋の常連って何なんだ？
ほらケイイチさん、奥をご覧なさいませ。
Following Sadako's prompting, I took a look. There were chairs lined up at the tables, almost like some sort of a birthday party. I realized it immediately.
まさかこれって部活の会場なのか？
Seems like it.
驚いたかいケイちゃん。私この店のおじさんと仲良しでね。
Hmm.
たまに客寄せイベントってことでゲーム大会を開かせてもらってるんだよ。
Expand his customer base, I see. Meaning, all the boys livening up the place were participants?
そうなの。
You guys have a lot of competition.
いつもは5人だけど、今日はもっともっと大勢での部活なんだよ。
Reno was innocently happy about being able to play with so many people, but my expression grew noticeably stern.
ケイイチさんの考えてること手に取るように分かりましたよ。
ほう。じゃあ試しに行ってみようか。言うぞ。せーの。
These are all enemies. Yeah, they are. That's what I was saying. Sadako's voice and mine blended together in a harmony. We looked over at the participants. After all, the top prize was 50,000 yen. What is that, like 450 bucks around there? My eyes lit up like a flame.
ね、ケイちゃん。今日は楽しめそうでしょ。
まあな。ライバルが何人増えようが狙うものに変わりはないさ。
ライバル？はあ、ケイちゃん。クジラが水を飲むとき、今飲んだ水の中に何匹シラスが混じっていたか。
A lion
いち
does
いち
not
数えてると思う？
a lion does not consider the opinions of the sheep. That's what Mion is saying. She said that in an unpleasant voice, laughing with the aggressive glint in her eyes reserved solely for club activities. Damn it, Mion. She's as serious as she can get today.
本気なのは私だけじゃないよ。ほら、リカちゃんを見てごらんよ。
Mion pointed, looking at where her finger directed me.
なんだありゃ。
Rika-chan was using those kinds of traits to soften up the group with an almost excessive pleasantness. Fantastic. Ever heard this music before? I don't think we have.
僕も頑張るのですよ。ファイト、オーなのです。
Completely emasculated, the group joined Rika-chan in a cheer. The inside of the store had been consumed by the world of Rika-chan. Damn, she's already chomping at the bit. Oh, we got the game music. God, it's been so long since we've heard this, man. It seemed that Rena was also unusually fired up by the large crowd. Hopping about and running around, she had entered entirely into cute mode. You guys are in trouble then. In Rena's case, the real fun starts when her tension gauge fills up. Her happy-go-lucky attitude belied the fact that this was the state in which she was the most threatening. Mion was making small talk with some of the regular customers she was acquainted with. It was like business as usual with her. Ooh, of course, if anybody thought that Mion looked ordinary, they were not qualified to be in our club. The shadow beneath her feet was exuding killer instinct, rising up like a chill wind. Yeah.
ミオンめ、恥も外聞も捨てるくらいに本気だな。
ケイチさん知らないんですの？賞金の5万円、ミオンさんの自
Ooh,
腹でしたよ。
really? What? She was putting out the 50,000 yen all by herself? She does have a job, right? So, sure. At that moment, a dark miasma that warped Mion's surroundings began to appear.
ん？何？ケイちゃん。私の顔に何かついてる？
God, don't do that to me. Please. Please, do not do that to me. Eep. A shiver crept up my spine. That Mion, cornering herself like that. She's pulling out the demon lurking within her. Yeah, because if she doesn't win, she has to pay someone $500. So, yeah. Fine with me. Damn it, my knees are shaking like crazy. Before I realized it, the store had filled up with even more people. I don't think we've heard this before either, have we? Man. However, the looks in their eyes weren't confrontational. They were looks of expectation and curiosity. They were the eyes of onlookers who were wondering what kind of match was going to occur and who was going to win.
最高の舞台じゃねえか。面白くなってきやがったぜ。
ケイチくん、頑張ろうね。
Yeah, Ganbare.
頑張ろうね。
Rena was already fully charged. Mortal laws and common sense held no power before the might of Rena in her cute mode. I definitely didn't want to fight her if possible. Well, I wonder what the game is gonna be. Rika-chan, who was exuding way too much charm no matter how you looked at it, had already won over most of the onlookers to her side. Nonchalantly avoiding things had always been Rika-chan's creed, but for her to be blatantly laying out her machinations like this, something was definitely strange. Like Rena, she was somebody who I didn't want to fight if I could help it. So what, do you, like, Sadako's gonna be the easy prey?
もちろん、一番戦いたくないのはミオンさんですけどね。
何度か部活で奴と視線をくぐったが。
He's doing this on purpose, obviously. Just saying lines like this, you know, like, just, you know.
今日ほどヤバいと思う日はないぜ。
ミオンさん、一昨日のポーカーで負けたの相当根に持ってるみたいでしたよ。
らしいな。つまり今日はミオンの復讐のための特設舞台ってわけだ。
Uh-oh. Almost as though she were psychic, Mion turned towards us. Her eyes silently conveyed the message. You guys just figured that out now? It wasn't just Mion. Both Rena and Rika-chan were more pumped up than they'd ever been. Yeah, one's gonna pop up today. Without a doubt, they'll be casualties. Yeah.
私とケイチさんがなんとなく置いてきぼりですわね。いかがでございましょう。なんでしたらスマートに初戦をお手合わせ願いませんかしら。
I guess you could.
そうしよっか。俺もエンジンがかかるまで鳴らしよし。
Oh no. Not again. My spinal column shuddered like it had been struck by a bolt of lightning, and like a pillar of ice was being jammed into it, began to freeze. I could almost see the flames backlighting Sadako with their intensity. Even then, while Sadako was displaying a normal smile, it was cold and inhuman, almost as if it were a plastic mask.
そんなに俺を初戦で消したいかよ。さっきが隠せてないぜ。
あら、残念ですわね。ケイチさんにしてはなかなか慎重でしたよ。
Without a doubt, it was a trap. I don't know what she had up her sleeve, but if I fought with Sadako during the opening round, my loss would be more certain than if I went up against Mion. Okay, so Sadako's become the most dangerous, apparently. A pitch-black miasma permeated the inside of the store. Did they all want to win that 50,000 yen prize that much? No, that's not right. The only ones competing for the prize money were the casual participants. I was different. I had mistaken this as just a way to fool around on a normal Sunday. It didn't matter when it was, or where it was, or who our opponents were. In our club, the goal is always the very top of the mountain. An intense flame that no strong winds could extinguish, hot enough to melt any steel, began to burn inside me. The fuse had been lit on this unprecedentedly intense club battle. It was then that the owner of the store told Mion in a lackadaisical voice that it was about time to begin. Alright, what are the games gonna be? Like, what are we doing here? Mion began with the formalities, standing in for the owner, and explained the rules of today's tournament. You're only playing to win. There is no second or third place. That's the same rule as our club. There were 15 people participating. Okay, I thought there might be more. We were split up into 5 groups via a draw, and each group would have one winner. Let me guess, they're all going to be in separate groups at the start, because there's 5 groups. Each winner in the first stage would advance to the next in order to compete in the final. Ooh. Oh, so that's part of the strategy too. I see. Already in club mode DEFCON 1, I didn't let out the small gap in the rules go unnoticed. The spectators also nodded along. It was only natural. There wasn't anybody who would simply cede to their opponent's suggestion. Interesting. I wonder how you won't just come to a stalemate, you know? It was an event at a toy store after all. You'd expect the owner to referee. After that, Mion's rundown continued. It ended with the rule that any losing participants would have to buy the game they lost at. A rather nice proposition for the store, I see. So if the store owner decides, he's picking the most expensive one. First, we used a draw to split into 5 groups. Everybody lined up single file and began to draw tickets that the shop owner had prepared. It was my turn. Alright, time to draw. No matter who I was up against, I'd crush him. At that moment, Mion began to laugh with a hawkish gleam in her eye. Of course. Oh god. Oh no. Contrary to how simple it sounded, it was a terrifying eventuality, the subject of which no one could predict. Damn you, Mion. Was she really planning on parading me around Hinamizawa in cat ears in a banana hammock with a tail attached or something? Probably. The look on Mion's face told me she wasn't going to let me off that easy. But who is, Oh, okay, so whoever wins gives all other 4 people 1 order each. Yeah, that is brutal. On top of that, this time, it wasn't just the person who finished last who'd have to submit to the penalty game, yeah. It is really all or nothing. True. What if that happened, though? Like, what if that actually happened? The look in Mion's eye became that of a lion bearing its fangs. I guess, we'll see. Yeah, please don't. That would be very embarrassing. Even so, I didn't feel threatened. The more into it my opponent was, the stronger I would become. The results of the draw were enough to make you cry conspiracy. All the members of the club were nicely divvied up amongst the 5 tables. Yeah, I knew that would happen. How did this happen when the draw was that random? The thought that I was already caught in Mion's puppet strings made me feel uneasy. That was fine though. I'll crush all your petty tricks. Now, where were my opponents? Everybody was headed to the table corresponding to the number on their ticket. Oh, new art. The competition at my table was these 2, huh? They look younger than me. Huh? Oh, okay. Tomita. Write down his name. They have art, so I feel like they're gonna show up again. Unless we got a sudden budget increase, I don't know. Tomita-kun.
彼は岡村です。
Okamura. Okamura. Okamura-kun granted me by nodding his head. So my opening round was to be against these juniors from my school. Just saying, but it seemed like a pretty easy matchup. Lucky. Time to destroy them without mercy. With Mion's declaration, the inside of the store suddenly became lively. Everybody was yelling their favorite games at each other, trying to gain an advantage before they started. Even my two classmates, who seemed taciturn at first glance, began to fiercely insist on their own games as soon as the signal was given. Of course, I would kick those suggestions aside, but you're just gonna not be able to decide. There was absolutely no reason to pick a game your opponent was good at. Do you really not think you're just gonna be better than them at anything, though? Like, come on. I feel like at most you just want to ignore a game that's just like RNG, you know? Of course, they didn't agree to the games I suggested either. I could only smirk bitterly. Naturally, after 5 minutes, this table still couldn't agree on a game. Obeying the rules, we asked the store owner to decide on a game. Clearing his throat, the shop owner brought over a board game from the back of the store. It was a game called Billionaire. Quite the vintage we have here. Come to think of it, if you lose, you have to buy this game. That damned shop owner, was he using this competition to get rid of all the games he couldn't sell? True, yeah. Oh no. The two nodded in agreement, and finally the game was underway. So is it just random? Tell me it's not just a completely random game, because if so, Keiichi has thrown this. Like, at that time, I already had a feeling of impending crisis. I wouldn't realize why until the game progressed a bit. 1、2、3、4出産祝いをもらう全員から$5,000もらう Nice. Okay, I've built a bit of a lead. 1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8とボーナス Oh god. Yeah, it's just RNG. No, oh no. What? The tables were turned in an instant? 1、2、3出世コースに進む Whoa, that was a good route. It seemed like only my piece was landing on the steady spaces. So is this just like life, the game of life? I don't know. I had doubts as to why Mion didn't bring out board games for club activities, but that reason was laid bare to me before my eyes. That's right. I had only realized it now. This game was completely based on luck. Yeah, what are you gonna do? It has to be some kind of like external strategy. I mean, I don't know, beat them up or something. Like, what could I possibly do to make sure I ended up in first place at the end? The ultimate outcome of this game was decided in a place beyond human hands. How were the other club members doing? My eyes naturally wandered off to the other tables. Mion's table was, what? They weren't doing anything? Had they still not decided on a game? This naive idea existed to distract me from the most frightening possibility. Mion was lounging about, leisurely holding some juice she'd bought from the vending machine outside in one hand. When our eyes met, she gave me a look of ease. It couldn't be. She'd already finished? What game was it? That easily? I don't know. They all played rock, paper, scissors, and Mion cheated. It was probably too late to be concerned with that at this point. Only 5 minutes since we started, and her two opponents were already beyond recourse. They were sitting there, slumped over in disappointment, muttering to themselves, trying to figure out where they went wrong. For that, they'd find no answer. Was there any reason for their defeat other than they sat at the same table as Mion? Probably. She probably did something. Then, what about Rena's table? The spectators were causing quite a commotion. It looked like their game was Karuta. Don't know what that is. The shop owner was apparently the one reading out the cards. Runa tended to dawdle along and space out a lot. Wouldn't she have a hard time with this game? What? At the same instant the shop owner began sending out the words, the card in question disappeared off the face of the table. No, the face of the earth. I don't know what this game is, so... Impossible. Where did it go? It was against Rena's cheek. She was rubbing it there. Oh, because it's a cute dog, that's why.
お持ち帰り
Looking at the card Reno was rubbing against her cheek, it was some anime-themed version of Karuta, with rather cute moe illustrations decorating the cards. Basically, it was a picture of a pretty dog girl with a slightly large chest, panting and half in tears as she was being pulled along on a chain. Great. Thanks. With those types of pictures, even I could play with godlike speed. Of all people to play that game, it had to be Runa. It was entirely possible that her fingertips were on the verge of breaking the sound barrier. I'm sure.
決まったね
Mion smiled coolly. Seeing no further reason to keep watching, she turned back.
かわいいレナ勝ってもこのカルタちゃんと買うよお持ち帰りはう
After that, the second the card started being read out, bam bam, such decisive sounds echoed. Well then, how about Sadako? Oh, she was playing a rather orthodox game. Concentration. Is that the, Yeah, that's like the one where they, like, pop up, that, you know, yeah. Judging from the distressed look on Sadako's face, it seemed that she was struggling somehow. One of the main characteristics of concentration is that the pace of the game speeds up as it goes on. As the number of cards to memorize decreases, never mind, I don't know this game, it becomes easier to match several pairs in a row. It wouldn't be an exaggeration to say that the first person to take over the flow of the match can run away as the winner. The cards still in play had decreased. If you memorized the cards that had been turned over before, you should have a good chance to sweep the table at this point. Sadako probably knew the positions of all the remaining cards. However, her turn came a little too late. If her opponent followed up, the match would be decided.
王女悪いけど
Uh-oh.
僕も優勝賞金を狙ってるんだ悪く思うなよ
This guy, did he have the locations of the remaining cards memorized? He was completely certain of his victory. The tension on his face relaxed. Uh-oh.
決まったな
I whispered that in a bored manner as I turned my attention back to my own game. Yeah, pay attention to your own game where you're just gonna get owned by RNG. Like, I spun the wheel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
そんな確かにここはハートの
Oh, okay. Nice. There was a commotion at Sadako's table as the shout rang out. The other two at my table turned around in surprise. Cheat! Start cheating! Right now! Hurry! But they're looking away. I didn't. After all, there really wasn't anything to be surprised about. The onlookers were confounded, most of them certain that the Ace of Hearts should have been there. There's no way. I must be seeing things. It must have been because I was excited. No, Sadako's probably cheating. She probably is doing... Come on, Keiichi, you gotta start cheating right now. Hurry. So assured in his victory, the distress over his defeat ran deep. That's how it is. If his opponent wasn't Sadako, then the Ace of Hearts certainly would have been there. Yeah! What a fool. When you're up against Sadako, you can't let your guard down for a moment until the battle is over.
あらケイチさんの勝負はまだつきません
Yeah?
センスないですわね
With a refined tone of voice reserved only for winners, Sadako called out to me. For the casual observer, it must have looked like she only eked out a victory. From my point of view, however, she was only playing around. The roles of winner and loser had already been decided. It was nothing more than child's play. The laughable part about it was that her opponent didn't know his role had already been assigned. It feels so meta. Really feels so meta. This whole, you know, I don't know. Maybe not, but this whole idea of roles already being assigned, you know, with like the events of the last chapter. I don't know. I feel like you could take something from it.
やるじゃねえかハートのエースなんておしゃれな罠をかけやがって
相手を仕留める罠はほんのちょっぴり
Just like Keiichi.
それも一個で十分ですね
Man, we haven't had a good Sadako trap in forever. Sadako was a trapper. Her true talent was never having one misfire. Setting off only one trap was more than enough. Ain't that cool. The fact that the other club members were winning one after another with their own brand of play only added to my impatience and my own lack of progress. I wonder how Rika's doing. Alright, how is Rika-chan doing? Exactly. How is our club's sly little fox doing? What the heck is that? Or in that corner, the mood at that table was decidedly different from the others. The game at Rika-chan's table was, you know that battery-powered fishing game? No, I don't. The one where the fish opened and closed their mouths as they rotated on the platform, and used a magnetic fishing rod to pick them up. That old thing. Kind of sounds like Hungry Hungry Hippos. I don't know. It seemed they planned on competing by seeing who could catch the most fish, but it had become an atmosphere you could hardly call competitive. It's just, yeah. It's just everyone fawning over Rika the whole time. What, are they just gonna let her win? I knew that Rika-chan had already charmed her opponents, along with the onlookers, before the matches had even begun, but brilliantly played. That corner had become an informal meeting of the Rika Furude fan club. Yeah, Runa needs to join the Rika Furude fan club. Hearing that, she glanced over my way briefly. This is my way of getting serious. That's what I heard. Yeah, a masterful technique. Oh god. He asked, what is he gonna do? How does he, what do we do here? 50,000. What do we do? How do we escape this? How do we escape this? In contrast, my game, what an unseemly situation this was. Noticing the uneasiness creeping across my face, my companions came to see how I was doing. Okamura, who had wrung lots of money out of the elite course, began to count through a stack of white $100,000 bills. How much does Keiichi have? Those two, it looked like they would easily surpass $1 million. Mion's tone of voice was grim from the get-go. It was her disappointment and disgust as club president. I don't know. You could have done something. I don't know, you could have done something, I'm sure. Rika-chan gently pet my head. Still, she wasn't too happy. Can't say that. Yeah. Like I said, how am I supposed to make a comeback with this game relying entirely on luck? Right, Mion? Mion's face, however, was almost unbelievably indifferent, like she was watching something completely unexciting. I can't help but analyze the games, right? And it's just, like, what this is making me think of, which I might just be wrong, because I'm just thinking of it in terms of Onikachi, the stuff we already saw. And it could, I imagine more so it's going to be relevant in some weird meta way to the stuff that's going to happen in this chapter, but, like, just this idea that it's all random and that he just has to rely on luck and there was no way out, you know? It's just like the Onikachi and the situation he was in, you know, how it seemed like there was nothing he could do, and it was just, you know, unavoidable, but it's making me feel like I guess there must have been some way. Mion's face, however, was almost unbelievably indifferent, like she was watching something completely unexciting. I already read that. She then turned her back without saying a word. It was a pathetic voice that irked even myself. No, you need to beat these kids up. Threaten them. Yeah. For real, you would have punched those kids in the face. She's just disappointed. Mion, in a bad mood, cast me aside and disappeared into the depths of the shop. Maybe it was because it had become an awkward situation, but the spectators dispersed from around my table. Damn it, are you saying I'm not serious about this? Are you saying if I were serious, I would have settled this game of chance in 10 seconds? If I were serious, everybody was praying for my victory. They believed in me. Did I betray their expectations? Was it because I wasn't serious? Ugh.
ゲーム進めます？
The two of them were timidly trying to resume play. I didn't respond to that. The table sunk into silence.
Oh,
no. The owner, thinking I was forfeiting, started to announce the cancellation of the game. At that moment, the demon inside me let loose a howl and awakened. I get it now, Mion. What it means for me to be serious. I'll show you. Okay, let's see what you got. Bam. I clamped my hands on their shoulders, speaking in a low voice after pulling them closer. Okay. Sure, let's make a deal, yeah. The two of them, not immediately understanding what I had just said or the meaning behind it, were momentarily confused.
話は最後まで聞け。お前らの望みは何だ？優勝して5万円か？
そりゃそうですよ。5万なんて大金。二度とないチャンス。
I guess. You know, I guess there was a lot more money in the 80s.
仮に優勝したとして、お前らその5万で何をする？どんな楽しみ方をする？
The two of them considered it briefly.
新しいゲーム買うとか、お菓子とか、ジュースとか。
小せえ。バカかお前ら。
じゃあ、前原さんが勝ったらどんな楽しみ方？
He'll enjoy not being punished, for one thing.
そこが本題だ。今から言うことを黙って聞け。
Okay. We club members have a penalty game separate from the casual participants. If we lose, we have to obey a single command from the winner. From another point of view, the winner owns the prize of being able to order the other club members around.
まず富田君、君は里子萌えだ。
Ooh, okay.
否定すんな。そして岡村君、君は理科萌えだな。
Now, who doesn't, to be fair?
赤くなるな。
I drew the two of them, red-faced and conscious of whether anybody else heard what I just said, even closer. Yeah.
例えるなら永遠にたどり着けないエデンの園。だけど目指すんだろ。それは俺たちのハートに熱い魂が燃えよと叫ぶからだ。
That sensitive age where you couldn't say you liked the girl you liked. Understanding that gave me all the more power.
俺が優勝したら富田君、里子を一日首輪付きで君の妹にしてあげよ
う。What? A red fountain spewed from both of Tomita-kun's nostrils.
そして岡村君、君には猫耳リカちゃんに手綱をつけてお散歩させてあげよう。
That's, man, rough. Blood erupted from the vein in Okimura-kun's forehead.
そんなことそんな
うるたえるな。お前たちは俺に無理やり付き合わされたことにすればいいんだ。
And of course they're gonna accept it because, like, they don't get that part of it, you know? Because they don't get the, you know, Keiichi gets to make use of the punishment game while they don't get to.
前原先輩のわがままの犠牲者なだけいやいやでいいんだよ。分かってる。お前たちの胸の内は全部分かってる。
Then, I suddenly lowered the tone of my voice.
俺は灰色の学校生活を送ってきた。それがどんなにつまらなく人生の大切な時間を浪費したことになるのか身をもって知った。だから後輩のお前たちにはそんな時間を過ごしてほしくないんだよ。自分に素直になれ。夢を追え。そして叶えろ。俺が叶えてやる。俺がだ。
It was this moment that the values of men bridged generations. They're only a few years younger than you. Did I ever have a mentor who ever spoke my mind for me so strongly? Never. There was no way there was. That's because in a man's lifetime, he'll only have 3 fateful encounters. That valuable first time was being experienced right in this moment with these two. Alright, we did it.
じゃあいいな。行くぞ。せーの。ゲーム終了。
Huh. It was such an assertive declaration of the game's ending that everybody in the store turned and looked. It had been less than 3 minutes since I was on the verge of forfeits and all the spectators were certain of my loss. Yeah, it would have taken way less than 10 minutes.
ケイチさん、どうなりましたの？勝敗は？
俺の完全勝利だ。
なんですって？あの状況、どうやってひっくり返しましたの？
It's thanks to you, Sadako.
家庭なんか必要ないよ。男と男の決着だよな。ああ、みんな。
The two of them, stifling tears of gratitude, answered strongly from the bottom of their hearts. Exactly what kind of miracle occurred here during those 3 minutes the spectators all looked away from my utter disadvantage. The spectators were puzzled at how I was able to so quickly overcome that hopeless situation. You know, yeah, me too. You know what? Me too. Like, I'm just, like, you know, I'm pretty puzzled at how we're back here from the hopeless situation at the end of Okinomiya, you know? I mean, not really, it's just some kind of, like, different timeline, you know, but... That guy, is he able to control the spinner wheel with his eyes or something? It's a miracle. What devilry is this? He's in cahoots with that, Mion, you know. There's no doubt he had some strange trick up his sleeve. I looked at the crowd, who couldn't help but be excited, out the corner of my eye. Now fully awakened and in battle mode, I let out a derisive laugh.
これが俺の本気ってことだよ。ミオ。
おせえっての。
Baring our fangs at each other, we laughed together in a most unsightly fashion.
じゃあこれで部活メンバーが全員一回
Let's
戦突破です
go!
わね。ということは、今度はみんなで対決だね。対決だね。
Alright.
僕はもう賞金で買うものを決めていますです。
Surely, is that gonna be in this? This is gonna be a long chapter if that happens right now.
もちろんですわ。
Sadako and Rena smiled, sneered at each other. These guys. Do they really think they can win against Keiichi Maibara when he gets serious?
ミオ。失敗だったな。お前はさっき俺に助言すべきじゃなかったぜ。
ひよこが
Mewling newborn.
私に勝つなんて100万光年早い。
Light years are not. Come on. Like, you're making the mistake from the first Pokemon gem. Come on.
ミオ、光年は距離の単位だぞ。
I guess Pokemon doesn't exist yet. Oh, she's embarrassed. She's embarrassed.
どうするのみーちゃん。
Huh.
5人でどう戦うのかな。
さーてこれだけ豪華な面々が揃ったんだからね。今日という日を急ぐのが惜しいよ。
Hmm?
みーの言ってる意味が難しいです。
まさかてめえ。
Mion's hair flowed elegantly, almost like a cape, as she turned her back to the table.
今日の勝負を部長園崎美音が預からせてもらうよ。勝負方法と日時は未定。ギャラリーは多い方がいいね。南沢も沖宮も全ての人間の
Okay,
目の前
okay. Have to make an even bigger spectacle out of it?
これ以上ないくらい徹底的な決着をつけてあげるよ。
What, are you gonna do it at Watanagashi or something?
逃げる気ですの？いくらみおさんでも卑怯ですこと
Guess that would fit, right? Everyone from Minamizawa and Okinomiya, you just do it at Watanagashi, you know? Set up a stall or something for it. Oops, let's skip that. The combative aura billowing out of Mion's body formed a barrier, stopping Sadako's advance.
また会いましょう。せいぜい首でも洗っとくことね。
With a shrill laugh, Mion left the store. After a moment of silence, the crowd erupted into cheers. When will they resume the contest? Mion's serious. The other members did great too. That new guy, Maibara, he's got some strange power. He turned the tables in an instant.
絶対優勝してくださいよ。おう、ミオンなんざ逆さにしてサンスの川に叩き込んでやるぜ。
Thank you. The part of the crowd that had apparently overheard the covenant between Tomita-kun, Okamura-kun, and myself erupted into a cheer again. Mion's going to win anyways. She's the undefeated empress. I'm betting on Mion. No, it's going to be Rina with that ungodly speed. Sadako the trap artist. Rika the siren. It may be a long shot, but it'll be Maibara. However, right now, I had no ear for those Chielfo voices. Setting the stage for this huge match and then running away like that, I wasn't going to forgive Mion. Outside of the store, Mion was getting on her bike as the shop owner was seeing her off.
逃げるなミオン。部長なら逃げるな。俺と戦え。
ごめんケイちゃん、私これから
Oh, okay. Like you would see in a sketch comedy show, my legs slipped in opposite directions until I was doing the splits.
ケイイチくんがゲームしてる間にみーちゃんに電話があったの。残念だね。
せっかく暑くなってきたのについてないよ。おじさんの店でさ、特売にお客が殺到してるらしくてさ、レジが足りないから助けてって電話があったんだよ。
Your uncle's store.
おじさんってなんだ？スーパーの店長でもやってんのか？
Is she talking about an actual uncle, or is she just, calling someone Uji-san?
ささやかなお店だけどね。でもさ、特売やれば主婦が殺到するの常識で読めないもんね。店員足りないのに卵1パックを一人様1点限り10円なんてやるな。
10 yen? I was a little surprised. You would never think that this was the club president exuding such a dark aura inside the store just a short time ago. It was the usual Mion right now, almost exasperatingly so. My shoulders slumped. That's right. Club mode is over now. But it was really heated today. It really was fun. Damn Mion, she really knows how to fire people up.
私こそ頭がジンジンしびれるくらい燃え上がったよ。特にケイちゃん、怖かった。あの場で本当に書き殺されるんじゃないかって思ったね。
お仕事だから仕方ないけど、本当に残念だね。この続き、本当にやりたいですよね。
Me too.
いつがいいでございましょう。渡流しのお祭り。
Oh, okay, yeah.
いいですよ。
Perfect.
渡流し祭五強爆闘か。そうだね。考えておくかな。
Right now, what were Rika-chan and Mion talking about? Watanagashi Festival? Okay, so he hasn't heard of it yet. And, okay. Cotton Drifting 5 Demon? What?
私、週刊漫画こんな痛快な部活が近いうちにまたできるといいね。
She laughed with a smile that made you feel refreshed just looking at it. At that moment, the shop owner came out carrying a paper bag. I wonder what it is. Is he giving it to us?
今日はみんな本当にありがとう。おかげでイベントは大盛り上がりだったよ。大したものじゃないけど、これ今日のおだちんに。
あ、吉郎おじさん。私にはないの？おだちん。
かわいいのが出てきましたわよ。
When Sadako and Rika-chan opened the bag, there were cute little stuffed animals inside.
わあ、これかわいい。お持ち帰りしていいの？本当に？
ってことは俺のもかな？なんだかやたら可愛いのが出てきたぞ。
What, Mion doesn't get one? It was a stuffed toy wearing a beautiful dress, one you'd use to play house. Why is Mion not getting one? Because I guess she's like part of the event. Rina's eyes were glued to my stuffed doll. Sadako was the same, and Rika-chan too?
ケイちゃんには一番似合わないのが出てきちゃったね。
なんつうのか、プリティっていうかキュートっていうか、可愛いのは認めるんだが、着せ替え人形はちょっとな。
ケイちゃんが持ってたら確実に明日からアレな趣味の人扱いだね。
Mion didn't have to go that far. This wasn't something a guy like me should be carrying around. Mion was the only one who hadn't received a present, so I thought about giving it to her. However, after briefly considering, I gave it to Rena instead. Oh, okay. Hmm. Okay.
くれるの？レナに？ありがとう。
保身のためだよ。レナにあげないと夜道が怖い。
Huh. Mion's expression there.
違いない違いない。
ミオンにあげようかと思ったけど、ちょっと違うよな。
へへへへ。分かってるじゃない。私さ、どうして男に生まれなかったのかなって思う時あるよ。
女でよかったな。男だったらもうとっくに殺してる。
今のうちに殺しといた方がいいよ。じゃないとケイちゃん死んで後悔することになるから。
She's really laughing a lot. I don't know, that was kinda, I don't know, the look she was giving when Keiichi gave the doll to Rena. And like, huh. I don't know, it does feel kinda sad that Keiichi just gave it to Rena when Mion didn't get one. It's almost like she was trying to convince him to give it away, you know, saying all this stuff. And just, I mean, I don't know, the only reason I'm thinking that is just that look she was giving in that CG, so I don't know. Mion laughed after saying such an ominous line. Everybody laughed heartily along with her.
来世では神様に男にしてもらえるように頼めよ。俺も男にしてもらうから。
そしたらケイちゃんと組んで軽く全国制覇から始めようかね。
Mion-chan, if you don't get going soon, the shop owner told her meekly. A lot of us looked like we were having a lot of fun, so it must have been hard to put a wet blanket on things. Huh. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it.
じゃあね。
I don't think I am. I mean, they made a CG for that moment, so I feel like it's kind of important.
今日は最高に楽しかった。またねみんな。明日学校で。
バイト遅刻すんなよ。
Everybody waved their hands and watched as Mion left. Before I knew it, the sun was already setting, and the breeze carried a hint of chill.
もうちょっと街で遊んでいく？それとも帰るかな？暗くなると道が怖いですよ。では引き上げ時ですわね。今日は本当にいっぱい騒ぎましたわ。
そうだな。よっしゃ、帰ろうぜ。
Alright, time to head home. The wind blew gently, as if to cool down those of us flushed with enthusiasm. I feel like we haven't heard this track in forever. Ah. The road back to Hinamizawa was long, but I didn't really mind.
そうそう。レナさん圧勝でございましたわね。
Man, we're just back into it, you know? It just feels so, God, it feels so nice to just have them all back together. I mean, like, and I just know things are gonna go wrong again.
レナがああなっちゃ悪いけど誰にも勝ち目はないな。
Yeah, no kidding.
だってすごい可愛いカルタだったんだもの。ほら、買っちゃったんだよ。リカも相変わらずですわ。リカにかかれば男どもなんて赤子の手をひねるようなものですわね。楽勝だったのです。
どこまで計算づくでどこまでが天然なのか。リカちゃんの行く末が実に怖いな。
さとこちゃんだってすごかったね。最後は大盛り上がりだったよ。褒められるようなゲームではありませんでしたよ。ケイチも最後はとうとう牙を抜きましたです。
まあな。俺は追い詰められてからが強い男なんだ。
Are you? I don't know. Based off our interactions with Rena and Okinomiya, where you would just collapse on the ground and do nothing.
富田さんたちなんだかすっごく応援してましたけど、何ですかしらね。
Do Rena and Sadako have the same color eyes? I think Sadako's eyes are a little bit different colored.
富田と岡村に何か約
Oh
束して
god,
ました
don't
です。
tell me Rika heard.
きっと
Alright, I think I said Rena. I meant Eureka and Sadako are the same color as. I think I said Rena there.
内緒話。なんだろうね。
We have some bad history with keeping secrets in this friend group. At least, I mean, history that doesn't exist anymore, but...
男には時に戦いを通じてしか語り合えないものがあるんだよ。
Desperately laughing, I frantically tried to avoid the subject. After that, everybody continued to praise each other for how they defeated their opponents, and reflected on how fun today was. Oh. Alright, something down real quick. Okay. Sadako, getting even more excited, pointed. Waiting where her finger indicated was an immense sunset, casting even longer shadows on us on our bikes. The cries of the Higurashi were gentle and very comforting. They are very gentle. Ah, is that the chapter? Oh, it was. Man, that was great. That was a great first chapter. We're back. We are back. Oh, it feels so good. It feels so good. Alright, let's read this tip, shall we?
ごめん。今日はさ、急におじさんの店のバイトが入っちゃってさ。
なんだなんだ？じゃあ今日の部活はお流れってわけか。
いや申し訳ない。
Mion put her hands together in apology and grinned.
そんなに部活がやりたかったら、おじさん抜きでやってもいいけど。部活ロッカーにゲームがいっぱい入ってるからさ。
It wouldn't be the same, come on.
どれか適当に選んで。
The club locker was the trans-dimensional space from which Mion pulled games whenever we met for club activities. I wondered how so many freaking games could be stored in the locker. It was even smaller than the one with the cleaning supplies in it. Besides those games, it was also a cornucopia of suspicious objects, costumes for punishment games. If we lined them all up on the floor in order to sort them, they would definitely fill the entire classroom.
やめとく。俺がいじったらロッカーの中身がドサドサって溢れてきそうな気がするよ。
そうだね。素人は手を出さない方が無難かもしれない。
Mion gave a hearty laugh, implying that the only one who could do so was the club president.
みー、先生が体育倉庫の鍵を探してますですよ。心当たりはありませんですか？
The key to the gym storehouse.
あれ？私職員室に返せなかったっけ？
That's where Keiichi was gonna get the bat, before he found Sachishi's bat, right? Mion said, feeling about in her pocket. Judging by her expression, she must have planned on returning it, but it was still in her pocket.
ほら、やっぱりミオンさんですのよ。私、絶対そうだと確信してたでございますわ。僕も大正解なのですよ。Sadakoと一緒に
What was she doing with it, though? What did she need the key for? Giggling, Sadako and Rika-chan clapped their hands together in celebration.
やかましい。
Slap, clap. Mion elbowed Sadako and Rika-chan in their heads, then headed for the teacher's
あ、
lounge.
そうだ。二人とも聞いたか？今日はミオン、バイトがあるから部活はお休みだとさ。
Mm-hmm.
あら、そうなんですの？それはつまらないでございますわね。み
Thanks, Rika. The two of them made disappointed faces.
み
That's great. Whatever anyone said, Mion's club was always the number one thing I looked forward to when going to school. It wasn't hard to agree with their melancholic expressions after hearing it wouldn't be happening today.
ミオンってバイトをやってるんだよな。あいつ一体何のバイトをしてるんだ？
Whenever Mion canceled club, it was usually because of her job. However, it also didn't seem like she went there every day. She would go 2 or 3 days in a row, then not go at all for a while. It sounded like a pretty damn random part-time job.
別に決まったお店でお勤めをしてるわけではないのです。
決まってないってことは、じゃあ日雇いってことなのか？
Mion, wearing socks and a helmet, sweating to death in a factory. Why? Wearing socks and a helmet? Okay. I couldn't imagine such a thing.
ミオさんはおじさんの店にお休みが出たりすると応援に駆けつける便利屋さんなんだそうですわ。
ああ、なるほどな。そういえばおじさんのとこでバイト。
Yeah, who is this Oji-san exactly?
前にも聞いたことがあるような気がする。
お店を持ってるおじさんがいっぱいいるので、ミーは引っ張りだこなのです。
She has a lot of uncles who own shops? Okay, so not literally uncles. A lot of them.
あら、ケイイチさんはご存知ありま
Oh,
せんね。
are they actually?
沖宮にはミオ。
へ
Oh, whoops, I skipped
それ
that.
は知ら
I
なか
read
っ
it.
た。そんなにいろいろあるのか？
ええ、パン屋さんとか八百屋さんとかラーメン屋さんとか他にもまだまだ。あの部活をやったおもちゃ屋さんもそうなんですよ。
Huh. I think... Oh god, I keep yawning. Sorry, it's late. It's way later than I normally record. I don't think we've seen... I don't think we've heard anything about any of these, right? I was dumbfounded. That's amazing.
ミオンの一族って何気に詳細があるんじゃないのか？それだけいろいろあるっての。
他にも
I,
サラ金屋さんとか地上げ
a
屋さん
strip
とか
club and a
米倉
brothel.
屋さんとか
Um,
ソープランド屋さんとか。
There was something I wrote down at one point. What was it? There was something about Mion's family. Someone... maybe I'm wrong. What was it? It was about Watanagashi. It was that tip. It was that tip, right before Watanagashi happened in the last in Okinomiya. Where it was like someone reading out a bunch of like information about Watanagashi, and they said at the end like you can call someone for like you can contact people for like stuff about Watanagashi. I swear they said it was someone with the family name Sonozaki, and I thought I wrote it down, but now I just maybe I'm literally making that up in my mind completely. No, I think that was Kimiyoshi. I think that was Kimiyoshi, not Sonozaki. Never mind. Maybe I'm completely making that up. I was just gonna say, that goes along with what they're saying about Mion's family being, like, powerful, I guess, owning this many businesses.
いろいろやってると言ってますです。
Okay, a couple of weird things came up that time, but still. I could tell it was pretty extensive.
あいつに小銭を借りると妙に返却期限にうるさいのはサラ金屋の血が流れてるからか。納得納得。
ミーにお買い物代を借りたことをころりと忘れてしまったら
What happened?
耳を揃えて返さんと身売りして風呂
Oh
に沈めたるど
I
と
what?
凄まれましたのです。
Don't say that. Ruka-chan being sold into the entertainment industry to pay off her debts. Yeah, great.
お風呂に沈められて溺れ死ぬなんておまぬきにも程がありますよね。
Yeah, Sadaka, please no one explain it to her. I don't like... Huh? She really doesn't get it, does she? Recently, she seemed so unspoiled. Ruka-chan and I gave her a pat on the head. Great.
なぜ撫でられるんですの？さとこはいい子さんですからなでなでなのです。
Sadako was lost in confusion, but she seemed to understand she was being made fun of. That was great. Thank you. Okay, I'm thinking that's it. That was the only tip we had. Well, that was a good first chapter to come back to. It's really just gonna... I'm just gonna fall for it again immediately. I mean, I don't think I'm falling for it. I think falling for it... In terms of fall for it, I mean, like, fall back into being lulled by the, by the club and all of them being friends and them being happy, right? Even though I know now that stuff is gonna go wrong, obviously, right? But, like, I think saying falling for it is actually wrong, because I fully believe in their friendship. I really do. And I don't think it's fake, so... I'm sure some crazy shit is gonna happen, but I'm still, you know, I'm fine with that. I'm gonna take this while I can get it. So that was a good first chapter. Leave a comment, tell me what you guys think. Subscribe maybe if you liked it. And I will see you guys next time for the next episode of Higurashi.